Top of round 2, Yevgeny Kuznetsov builds up speed. And then he'll go pretty slowly, like extremely slowly. Dusted off about 20 times on his way to the net. Kuznetsov fires and scores!
That's his move. It took him about 9 seconds to go from center to the net on that play, and he had 21 stick handles. You were saying about 20, I counted 21, and then a snapshot blocker side. Deadly accurate. He ties it up.
To a chorus of boos, it's Crosby in the bottom of the second. Sidney Crosby straight ahead. Forehand snapshot stopped by Kemper.
Tried to use a sneak attack, and Kemp didn't have any part of that. He tried to just weasel his way in nice and slow and then just quickly shoot the puck. There he is slowing down, and watch him shoot in a stick handle. Trying to get the goaltender off guard. He doesn't. Kemper makes a big stop.
Capitals fans had to wait half a season to see Nicklas Backstrom in action. Now they'll watch him in the shootout. Backstrom with a chance to put Washington on top. To his forehand, he scores!
That is a beautiful shot. Very similar to where Kuzi put it, just farther out. Here comes Nick. The Smith backing up, and there's the blocker side shot. Just below the blocking glove and above the padded to Smith.
Malkin has to score to keep the shootout going. Working it against Kemper. Malkin off the head fake, snapped it wide. Washington prevails in the shootout.
Great win, great rivalry, and the fans are saluting. 2 points over the pit.
And the Capitals picking up win number 26. A total of 58 points. Pittsburgh gets 1 for the shootout loss after this shot glances off of Kemper and wide of its intended target.
Yeah, Gino's a tough customer on these shootouts. He's trying to go to the same spot that Kuzi and Backstrom went, blocker side, and Kemper would have none of it.
Darcy, Kemper, and the Capitals stepping off to a 3-2 win, their first shootout win of the season.
Capitals Post-Game Live, presented by your DC area Acura dealer.
All tied up at the end of regulation, all tied up at the end of overtime. This one requiring a shootout. The Washington Capitals getting their first shootout win of the season in a huge 2 points against division rival Pittsburgh Penguins. As we welcome you into what still is, I feel like, a rockin' Capital One. That's Alan May and Alexa Landestoy. This is Capitals Post-Game Live, presented by your DC area Acura dealers. Alan still catching our breath from that overtime. The Capitals had the power play opportunity, couldn't get that one done, but what a fun shootout it was.
Oh, well, the overtime was sensational both ways. The goaltenders were excellent. The plays by all the players that were on the ice. The Caps getting a power play, but it took the shootout, and thank goodness that Nick Backstrom is back, because he just seems, when he gets that wrist shot on the shootout, he loves to go with the wrist shot. He loves to go in the top quarter of the net, and he does it again to the blocker side. Little patient, little speed, little slow down, and then just snaps it up top. Beautiful goal.
Well, let's relive it. Let's go back to a few moments ago. The shootout here live at Capital One Arena. TJ Oshie, usually so good here on the shootout, got things going for the Capitals, but it's saved by DeSmith.
Has a little stumble. Not as successful when he goes to the backhand. Ricard Raquel comes in, though. A lot of great moves. Waits it out to his forehand. Looked a lot like Craig Laughlin in an alumni game on that one. And then Kuzi. I counted 26 handles on this one before he shot the puck. That was just sensational. I don't know how he does it, but he did it. And then Sid, I thought for sure he was going to score. Shot a little sooner than you normally expect. Didn't go as high and elevate. But here's Backy over the blocker. Patience. Great to see him get one. Continue building confidence. Then the big man of Evgeny Malkin. Normally dangerous. I'm always thinking crossbar with him. Crossbar wide, though. So misses the net. The Caps get the winner. Darcy Kemper, hero in the shootout.
Yeah, I feel like Kemper was tested all night long. So great to see him get that shootout win. And Alan, you mentioned it, Nicholas Backstrom, I feel like the crowd was giving him a huge standing ovation. His first shootout since his return, and he nails it.
Well, he's skating better every game. And tonight I was watching him on a back check in the third period. And he just blazed down the ice, and it was smooth, it was fluid, and it was back to him look like he did years ago before these hip problems started. So I was just kind of marveling at him, and then it's great to see him get that confidence builder, confidence booster with the shootout shot. So great game all the way around. He had a huge assist in this game as well, with his line getting the goal to start the third period. But Nick Backstrom was sensational tonight, in my opinion.
So great to see him back in the Capitals lineup. But let's get into our red line, brought to you by your Washington area Volkswagen dealers. Are the Penguins the biggest Capitals rival? 84% say absolutely from that pregame poll. So let's welcome in Joe Beninati and Craig Laughlin now for our bottom line thought. And Joe, I think after this game, it's absolutely times 50, because this one was incredible here tonight.
Yeah, a little bit of everything, huh? And I'm glad you guys were here to enjoy it with us. I was worried, Locker, after the first 20 minutes because Washington played so well and didn't put itself out of reach. They could have easily, I thought, had a 3 or 4 goal lead after that dominant first period.
Yeah, they're both veteran teams, though. You know there was going to be a pushback from the Pittsburgh Penguins. They had the second period. The third period, as I discussed on air, I thought was even Steven. And it goes to the skills competition, and then anybody can win. And the Caps fortunately get enough sharp shooters and win it. I thought TJ Oshie, even though they disallowed that goal, I still thought that could have been a goal. I'm not sure why it wasn't, even though he pushed him in. I thought it was already in the net. But, oh, well, they still win in a shootout.
They didn't review it for very long.
No.
No, we'll take it, and that it is. And Joe, you brought up a good point. 22 shots on goal for the Capitals in the first, fell off a little bit in the second. But hey, Alan, we'll take the win at this point.
Well, you will, because you're trying to climb up the standings, and the most important thing is you're trying to get ahead. And no one wants to play the Boston Bruins right now. You don't want to be the 8th spot in the wild card, and it's a divisional rival. So it's a 4-point game. As much as I hate saying that, they knocked Pittsburgh down. They get a loss. It's not really a 4-point game. I guess they lost in the shootout. They still get a point. So Locker helped me with the math there, but actually you shouldn't, because you counted 21 handles on Kuzi. I counted 28 with the shot.
Way to go.
Yeah.
So much
I was never
math
good at
happening
math.
here tonight. Yeah, math with the stick handling, we'll take it. Okay, I'll try not to do any math here, but we're going to put up the standings. So a lot of numbers here, but no math, hopefully, that you'll have to do. But the Capitals, again, coming into this game, were equal with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And here, get the 1 extra point, so jumping up to 58 in that top spot in the wild card. And Joe, just 2 more games left before this All-Star break. Again, on home ice, getting guys back healthy. It's a crucial time for the Capitals to kind of find their stride here.
And again, we underline the fact that it's a head-to-head meeting with Pittsburgh, and there are only 3 of them this season. So, yeah, you would have loved to have done it and gotten this one across the finish line in regulation, not allowing Pittsburgh to get a point. But the Penguins do have games in hand at Washington's expense. No team in the league has played more games than Washington this season. The break is there. It's looming. The Caps still have 2 more road games to figure out before they can rest.
And I think they're focused. I think the last 2 games have been terrific. I thought Colorado, they deserved a better fate. They should have got 2 points. They deserve 2 points tonight, and kudos to them for getting it. Toronto's going to be a tough out. I mean, at home, they're fantastic. They don't lose a lot on home ice. And then Columbus, who always gives, doesn't matter where they are in the standings. They go into Edmonton last night and win. They're going to be a tough out. You can't look past them. I know the Caps will be ready for the Leafs, but you can't think about Columbus on Tuesday.